Welcome to Cap and Cork's Finishing School, where we teach you to drink what you love and love what you drink.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm the student and the host of the Finishing School program, and this week I'm stepping up to the bar with John, manager of our Canterbury location, and we are tackling the topic of porter versus stout. I know, this is a big one. So, John, tell me, how are porters and stouts the same, and how are they different?
Well,
is it easily mapped out anyway?
Historically speaking, the stout was made by tinkering with the porter recipe.
So they are very closely related, historically speaking.
Yeah, they started to add different ingredients in the porter, and they made it more boozy, if you will. They gave it a higher ABV. The stout is basically a heavier or stouter version of the porter.
Okay.
That's how it all started out. Craft brewers now, they're kind of starting to blur the line. There's a lot of porters out there that have a higher ABV than the stouts. So, yeah, the more creative brewers get, the more confusing it gets, but it's also the more fun it gets.
Well, and that's the thing, like, I didn't think there was probably like a firm definition of porter versus stout, and then everybody stayed within their lanes, because who likes to do that? But there's so much creativity between brewers, craft brewers, breweries, different things, that I can only imagine how they just continue to evolve. There's categories that I see popping up all the time that I'm like, I never even knew that existed before. So when it comes to tasting a porter and a stout, or a stout, what's the best approach? Like temperature-wise, glassware, things like that. How should we approach it?
Okay, especially for these heavier, darker beers like bourbon barrel-aged beers, you want to serve them at cellar temperature, which is 55 degrees.
So that's warmer than what refrigeration would be.
Oh, absolutely. Our coolers are set at like 33, I think.
Okay.
If you pull one of these heavier beers out of our cooler, just let it sit on the counter for a minute.
Okay. So give it a little time to warm up a little bit. Okay.
Hold it in your hands.
Hold it in your hands. That's why it's a great cold weather beer. You know, you can hold on to it. Gotcha. All right. So what kind of stemware should you use when it comes to one of these fuller bodied beverages?
Okay, I'm gonna go outside the box here. I drink all of my beer out of a tulip glass. A lot of people will tell you drink a stout out of a hearty pint glass because it's a heavier, heartier beer. But the tulip glass really traps those aromas and lets those flavors come out. And I'll choose flavor over masculinity any day.
Nothing wrong with that. So what is the flavor and aroma profiles that we'll find when we're dealing with some of the porters and the stouts?
When you go to smell it,
that's amazing on the nose. Like there's so much baked goods in there. Like,
good, how are you? Yeah, it's a lower ABV, so you don't get a lot of that boozy smell. It's mainly chocolate. Like there's some coffee.
There's a bit of coffee, but it's
caramel.
Yeah.
But the cacao nibs just make it really chocolate forward on the nose.
Okay.
And on the lips.
And on the lips. Cheers.
Up.
That one is really nice. You still have the chocolate flavoring, but it doesn't feel as heavy on your tongue as what you think it would be. Like, it's not overwhelming. It still coats it. Oh, wow. And the flavors keep evolving.
And the finish is a little velvety.
Are you in one school or the other as far as you prefer porters over stouts or vice versa?
I tend to lean towards stouts.
Is there a reasoning behind that one?
Well, honestly, there's a lot more of them out there.
Okay.
And
a little more exploratory.
If you say bourbon barrel, like I'm in usually right away. And typically there's more stouts that are bourbon barrel aged.
There you go. Well, let's open this one up and let's try some of the bourbon barrel aged stout. And this one does smell a little bit different on the aroma side of things.
Yeah, I'm mainly getting coffee.
Coffee, and not like the waft of baked goods. I felt like I walked in a bakery with the other one.
Right. There's a little bit of coconut.
Wow.
Number one selling bourbon barrel aged stout in America.
Is Dragon's Milk?
Yep.
Look at that. I can understand why. It's so complex and delicious all at the same time.
Yeah, they put some time into this one.
Well, John, thank you for taking the time and sharing your expertise with us on Finishing School. Follow along on all the fun that we're having with the Finishing School program and at Captain Cork and all of our social media channels. But if you want to find out first what's going on, sign up for our email newsletter at captaincork.com. Well, John, this would not be Finishing School. Well, let's get the real classes.
Right.
This would not be Finishing School if we didn't finish our drinks. Cheers.
That's all for today. Class dismissed.